What is up, Facebook Nation and YouTube and everybody else that's getting to see us right now? It is Friday night. It is time to talk some Brahmas football, baby. Woo! Let's go. You guys know me. I am the loudmouth of the South, SAJ. Let's go.
I'm 2-0, Brahmasita. And we have
What's
a
up,
special
everybody?
face.
What's up, everybody? I'm BD.
We have a couple guys out today, but for good reasons.
For great reasons, actually.
Great reasons.
Great and some sad, but
Well,
Jorge is
very
with family,
sad. Yes.
but they're celebrating a life.
Yes.
So
Jorge is unfortunately at a funeral out of town, so thoughts and prayers with him tonight as his family mourns. But just like Jackie said, we did also introduce a new life into this world. DJ Mars, aka DJ, aka Alamo Basement Dweller. His wife gave birth to a beautiful, healthy girl. The announcement is all over our Facebook page. Make sure you go by and check that out and tell him congratulations. Mom and baby are doing great and everything. And DJ was even able to get out of the basement long enough to be there in time to catch the birth of his daughter. So everything works out perfectly. But tonight, we are blessed with, is he back yet?
He's back. I'm bringing him in. I'm bringing you in, friend.
We are blessed to have none other than Jersey the King joining us tonight. Jersey, welcome to the show.
I do it better.
You do. But that's Jersey, we got no sound on you. I think your battery died.
Brahma
There you
Nation,
go.
what's going on, everybody? Fang Gang Nation, stand up and represent. We are here.
What
Hey,
is
coming to take
Where you
over?
at?
Jersey? What
Coming
is
to
the
take over
hand
Horns
sign?
for. It's
What
the
is the
Viper.
hand sign for?
It's the
The
Viper.
Viper?
You know, we're all bite, baby. We're all
Okay.
bite.
No bark.
No bark. No bark.
No
We're
bark,
all
all bite.
bite. Fang Gang Nation.
Awesome.
We're not going
Well,
nowhere.
It is tradition that Jorge has started here that we do an opening segment. You get the pun, right? Have a little ASMR session here. So if you have a cold one, go ahead and open it up with me now.
I don't have a cold
There we
one,
go,
but
guys.
I have a nice mixed drink that
Brian got an
Go.
open cold one
Yeah.
because he
I got
dumb.
one. I started early.
way
Cheers,
early,
guys.
prematurely.
Salud.
Salud. It was a
Ein
premature
Prost.
opening.
So Jackie,
But I'm gonna
All
make
right.
my
You know
drink.
what? Sometimes I get a little excited. All right, it just opens a little too fast.
Oh,
you'll be
that's my
happy to know, Jackie,
favorite.
that I'm drinking some of this wonderful spicy ranch water here. I have to top it off with some tahini, and the reason why is because I don't have any
Tahini.
delicious Hood Rats beer salt made by
Hood
our
Rat dip.
friends. I'm sorry, Hood Rat drips made by our
Dip.
friends. Dip,
Dip.
whatever. You're a
A dip. It's Hood Rat dip.
yes. Okay, it's a dip. All right.
Dips,
all right.
you dip.
The point is, I don't have any because our friends at Hood Rat drips or dips
Dip.
or whatever it is has
Brahma
not sent me
babe.
any to put in our beer. So
Hey, love, how
we
are
need
you
to talk
today?
to our sponsors. Yes,
And y'all need to send some out to Vegas for Jersey.
we
I-
do
I
Hey,
need
love-
to.
they do.
We
They
love
do
Love
some-
ship.
some Brahma beer. I need some Brahma beer.
Oh,
Well,
this-
Brahma beer nobody has now.
this
All
one
the
has
Brahma
been
beer has
unopened.
been sold.
We
It's
drank
been
it all.
unopened since we met when we at Perry's when we did the meet and greet.
Yes,
And they all gave us one. I never opened mine. I've had that since season.
I
It just
drank
sits
mine.
there.
I drank
Nice.
mine.
Nice.
You know,
But
I
let's
had
see
some.
what-
I wanted
Because
to
it was
get
cold and
one,
it was
so
free.
I just decided to drink it.
Everything tastes
That's
better when
right.
it's free, doesn't it?
100%.
Salute,
Wow.
everybody. Welcome in, everybody watching the show. I'm
I'm
glad to be
gross.
Yeah.
here.
What's up, Justin? Horns forward, baby. Let's go.
Well, let's get
No.
into it because
Yes, the show is not about us. It's
Not
about,
about-
you tonight, Jersey.
yeah,
So talk to us.
it's about them Vegas Vipers. Because you know what? I will be the first to say that. Yeah, we make fun of them, but I really want to know what's going on over there. Like, I feel like it didn't do it justice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard to find fans that were Vegas
Yeah.
fans, and I want to know how we can help, but I want to hear about how the season was for you. Like, are you a season ticket member, or was it just like games that you went to here and there?
I was going to be a season ticket member, but my whole thing was I want to see how many other fans are going to be there. Because when the season first started, I was already thinking of coming out with a show for the Vegas Vipers. Me and Dirty, if you guys know who Dirty is out there watching,
Who's
me and
that?
Dirty from the X Fan Nation, or excuse me, X
We
Fan
don't
Legion.
we don't speak their name here. I'm kidding.
He
I'm kidding.
shall not be named.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Voldemort.
Mr. Dirty Speculation himself, he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, how would you, what are you thinking about as far as a Vegas Viper show?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm already got it in the works." So it
Nice.
was more so of me just saying, "Hey, let me see how the team does this year, and then I'll bring out the show and go from there." And now we're in this situation where it's like, what the heck's going on with our team? And just so you guys all out there know, it's not going to stop me from being a Viper fan. That's not going to
Let's
stop me
go,
because
baby.
That's awesome.
we're a fan gang and we're all bite, baby. And just so you guys know, there's a great chance, per my sources, within the league as well as within the team itself, there's a great chance that we're actually making a move to Reno. And will actually either
Ooh.
be the Nevada Vipers or the Reno Vipers. So there's a very, very good chance that Vegas isn't going anywhere and the Vipers will be around for the merge. So it's just a waiting game. I'm not putting anything out there and saying,
Yep.
hey, this is etched in stone and this is a for sure thing. But there is a great possibility and a high, high chance of the Vegas Vipers moving to Reno and either being called the Nevada Vipers or the Reno Vipers. So get
Hey, as
ready,
long as
man.
the Vipers live on.
That's right.
Because I
Heck
think
yeah.
it would be a nonsense move for the XFL or the USFL or this new merged company to say, hey, we got to get rid of this franchise after 1 year. They know, as well as we do as fans and media personalities, we all know that taking a franchise out of a city after one season isn't going to do well with the fans. It's going to actually help you lose fans instead of gaining more. So I think they're looking at it as a move that needs to be made as far as finding us a field to play at, but moving us out of the state of Nevada, they know could hurt because Jerry Cardindale and Redbird Capital Group fought so hard for Vegas to be the spot for the Vipers franchise to move to, and they really were the front runners of say, hey, Vegas is a prime spot. Vegas is a prime spot. Let's get a team out there. They got so many professional sports coming, and look at us now. We got the WNBA Aces looking to repeat as WNBA champions. We have the Vegas
Yep.
Golden
Shout out
Knights
from
in
San
hockey.
Antonio. You're welcome for that team.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But we also
Well,
have
I
the
mean-
Vegas Golden Knights, winning the Stanley Cup in their sixth season and also making their
Amazing.
second appearance in the Stanley Cup in their sixth season and actually winning. So there's a lot of championship caliber sports teams coming to the city, and they're looking to do that with the Raiders. They're looking to do that with the A's when they come in 2025. So it's going to be a lot of professional sports teams coming to the city of Las Vegas. And to move the Vegas Vipers out of the city, it's understandable because there's a whole issue with the no play clause and things like that with Allegiant Stadium. Sam Boyd's getting torn down, and so everybody knows the reason Sam Boyd Stadium is getting tore down is because they're really wanting to open up spaces for housing developments. There's a bunch of housing developments located
Okay.
behind Sam Boyd Stadium that you literally have to go all the way around, and it's like a whole issue with a lot of the citizens because they're like, hey, we have to sit here and go around Sam Boyd Stadium just to get to these different housing developments behind Sam Boyd. So they're
Right.
taking it out literally to open that up and to add more housing developments, which kind of sucks because that puts the Vipers in a situation where we couldn't get a field like that, you know. And Mark Davis isn't making it easy for the Vipers as well. We're looking at $500,000 in insurance and $500,000 just to play there.
Right.
So we're looking at a meal ticket just to, you know what I mean, just to be able to play at Allegiant, and it's not cost efficient for us. It's not beneficial for us as a league, not even just as a franchise. You know what I mean? So that's the situation that Vegas is in. You know, we're running into an issue, a field to play at with not only Mark Davis, but also the mayor of the city. She's on board with Mark Davis, and that's what's really putting us in a bind to be able to find a local venue to play in. So that's why we're going to be looking at a move towards either Reno and being called the Reno Vipers or the Nevada Vipers. So keep our fingers crossed, guys.
Yes. So not everybody is as fortunate as San Antonio to have an NFL caliber stadium like the Alamo Dome that's currently being used for the Home and Garden show and the Pink concert, and that's about it, right?
Right.
So that being the case, your stadium's getting torn down in Vegas, and you're potentially talking about relocating to Reno. What potential spots do you see would be the best fit for the NFL team? Or I'm sorry, the XFL team.
Well, as of right now, it's looking at the University of Nevada in Reno. Their field is prime. You know, it has a good amount of seating. It's a nice outdoor stadium as well. And the good thing about the stadium in Reno, the good thing about Reno is it gets cold out there. So they're able to, you know, put a field out there. You know that the temperature isn't going to be excruciatingly hot like it is in Vegas. You know, Vegas looks at triple digit weather a lot in the summer. You know, sometimes our triple digit weather starts when spring hits. You know, as soon as the first day of spring hits, we're looking at 98, 99, 100-degree weather. You know what I mean? So it's going to be another benefit for
we know exactly
XFL
what
team
you
itself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The only difference is you guys have to deal with humidity and we don't. We have to deal with the dry heat out here, and you guys have to actually have to deal with the humidity out there, which makes it even worse because it's sticky. The dry heat. What makes it worse?
Let's be honest.
Is the beaming
let's be
sun.
honest. Yeah, 100 degrees is 100 degrees is 100 degrees. The
And
humidity just makes it worse.
For
That's
me, maybe
it.
because I'm used to the humid heat, a dry heat to me is way worse than the humid heat.
I can't breathe. I feel like I'm being suffocated.
The dry heat
Just
takes
fat,
away your
Brian.
breath a lot, you know, and when you like, and like for people who lotion their skin a lot, it sucks. Let me just say that. You go outside, you start sweating. You're not just sweating from your pores, that, you know, that moisture that comes from just body sweat. You're sweating out lotion. So
it puts the lotion on its skin.
Worse,
basically.
Worse,
or else
it pushed the lotions. It pushed the lotion in the pores.
Yes.
Dang,
yes.
that's even
That's
deeper.
even worse. Yes, it's even deeper and it's way worse. So, you know, being that, you know, Reno's a prime spot, as well as the University of Nevada being out there in that area, or if they get to the University of Nevada Reno field, either field would work. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of making this move now, you know, and hoping and praying that this new NSFL or whatever it may be called looks at the Nevada market. We're not even just going to say Vegas market. Looks at the Nevada market differently than what the XFL looked at the Vegas market when they brought the Vegas Vipers here. Because let's be honest, Rod Woodson was the face. That didn't work.
No.
And
No.
to see a grown man on the sideline cry.
Yep.
I call him
He
cry.
sure broke a lot of headsets too, though.
He did. You know, I think part of his firing was paying that fine for all those headsets he broke. Because
So
I mean,
I want to offer a little bit of speculation about that whole Rod Woodson meeting with the XFL. I think it kind of went something like this. Rod Woodson walks into the XFL executive boardroom and sits down, and they're like, "Mr. Woodson, thank you for joining us, and thank you for responding to our request to come see us. We'd like to talk to you about your performance. And Rod Woodson says, fuck this shit. And they're like, exactly.
Hey, it's
Have a
family
wonderful day."
friendly.
You can censor that out.
Yeah,
That's
while we're
100%.
live.
That's 100% how I think it went. The XFL
Jay?
was like, okay, thank you. Have a great day.
I believe you 100%, brother. Because when you look at the departure, it wasn't a big, huge thing. It was, hey, Rod Woodson's being fired. And Rod Woodson agreed, like, yeah, I did a crappy job.
Yep.
You know, so
I'll put $1 in the swear jar.
swear jar.
There you go.
Swear jar. But no, honestly, I think that Rod Woodson was just there for his name. And that
I
was
could
the
see
first
that.
mistake. That was
Yeah.
the first mistake of our franchise. Let's be real. Let's look at the paper. Let's look at paper, and let's look at the franchises and their rosters on paper.
Mhm.
Vegas alone should have been a top tier team. And the reason why I say that is because they had over 16 or 17 former NFL players who have actually played a snap or more or a full NFL game in their history. You get what I mean? So on
Yeah.
paper, we had the best lineup. We had the best roster on paper. But when it came to the coaching and putting that roster out on that field and making sure we had a game plan every single week to
Mhm.
go in there and win, Rod Woodson wasn't the guy. He has no coaching experience on any level, whether it's middle school, high school, college, or the NFL, and he's a former
Right.
player. So you get the bit of people who are like, hey, Rod Woodson's going to be a head coach in the XFL. Let's go support him because I like Rod Woodson. I'm a fan of Rod Woodson. But then when you see him coach, you're like,
Oh,
sheesh. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh my
You know, he
goodness,
did
what is going
have-
on?
He did have who was probably the smartest quarterback in the entire league last year.
Yeah,
and
we
just
got rid of him because he
got rid of him
wasn't
because
able
they
to
couldn't
fit.
do anything with him. You know?
But
So,
that's the thing.
it ended up bringing.
If we had a different head coach,
happy,
BD,
South
we had a-
Oklahoma team to the championship.
and
Yeah.
exactly, if we had a better coach, it would have been a different outcome, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
you
yeah.
put
Oh
when
yeah.
you put a player like Luis Perez, the spring league GOAT that he is, and no one can deny this man. He is
No.
the spring league GOAT. You know what I
Yep.
mean? He's been successful damn near on every single spring league platform that he's been a part of, whether it be
Oh, yeah.
the USFL, the XFL, the spring league, whatever it may be, in the CFL. He has been successful. So you got to give that man props. But when you put him with a coach like Bob Stoops, it's nothing but greatness that's going to come from that. Because if you look at Luis Perez, he's able to stand back in the
Uh-oh.
pocket.
There we go.
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I
I
see that
see
finger
you
pop
over
up.
there. I see you over there. Go ahead.
I don't know that I go so far as to say the greatness of Bob Stoops.
No.
I was waiting. for that.
Arguably a good coach, but the greatness of Bob Stoops, I don't
There's
know
these
that I,
things-
Big game, Bob.
Excuse me.
I don't, big game Bob, baby.
Yeah,
Big game Bob.
BD. That's what I'm talking about, my guy. Big game Bob.
but
When it
it's
came
big
to
game. Bob.
big
It's not like big shot Rob. Robert Ory because he was making the big shots. It was big game Bob because he couldn't win the big game.
Boom! Where are my DJ glasses at?
Oh
You
my
know what?
god.
Except
I
except
can't even deny that, BD. I can't.
But-
I'm gonna put insert foot into mouth. Just,
but Jersey, in all fairness, we have to say that tongue in cheek because he did win the big
He
game.
did win the
didn't
big game.
He
That's
did.
right. He finally
So
did.
that's
We're not
why
gonna
we
talk about
can
that.
call him Big Game Bob.
We're gonna talk about that though.
We need to talk about that game.
But just look at what he did when Luis
Yeah.
Perez came in there, even losing, even in
Once
those
he got
games
his
that
real
he lost.
quarterback. Yeah.
The Renegades looked better, even losing a game after they got Luis Perez and started him. You just
Oh, yeah.
see the progression that team made in just 1 week of practice with Luis Perez at the helm.
Oh, yeah.
Even
And
the
you can see
defense
it.
was
It
like,
all-
"Hey,
it
we
was
got
all Luis,
we
like,
got a
just-
leader now." You know what I mean?
He's-
The defense was like,
I
"Hey,
said,
we
he's
got an
the-
actual
was the
leader on
smart
all."
quarterback.
Yep, exactly. And I think that's why the Renegades went all the way. I really think
Oh,
that's why the
absolutely.
Renegades made it to the championship game.
Well, you know
I
what? We're
call
not
it
here to talk about
100%.
the Renegades. Let's talk about the Vipers.
Yeah.
Because I still want to know. I mean, I want to know how the season, like, I mean, I heard so much, I saw so much on TV, but what was it like? Like, what, like when you went to these games, did people dress up? I mean, like, were there like
Well,
huge crowd? Like, what happened? What
And-
what goes on?
specifically, the
Go
game that I want to make sure that you include in this is the game against the Brahmas that Jorge was actually at.
Yeah.
Because he's got speculations about how the crowd was. We want to hear your take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want to speak specifically about that Brahmas game,
Oh shit! 1 second.
What's up, y'all?
Oh, no.
Mariachi,
What's going on, y'all?
what's going on, brother?
Hello, friend. We were not expecting you, but glad you joined.
Thank you for being
Yes.
here.
I'm a
Toast to
little
you
late.
and the rest of the Brahma crew. I appreciate
Cheers.
you guys.
Salud, amigo.
Salud.
Jersey was just getting ready to talk to us about the San Antonio Brahmas versus the Vegas Vipers game that you were at. We're going to get his take on it.
I
That
was
you
there,
attended.
yeah.
Yep.
I felt honestly there could have been a hell of a lot more fans. And to my Vegas Vipers fans out there, I do apologize. I feel I could have did a little bit more. But in all actuality, Cashman Field was a good experience. A good experience.
Please elaborate.
The field itself, well, because like Dirty said, which I agree 100%, the atmosphere was good. The seats were decent seats. You know what I mean? It's not like you're sitting in some type of high school football field stands where you're sitting on bleachers or something like that. You know, you had comfortable seats. It was a nice venue. It was just the field itself was just crap. They didn't take the time that they needed to, and it kind of goes back into the off season, because if you guys notice, in the off season we rushed to announce the Vegas Vipers. The XFL literally rushed to announce the Vegas Vipers, and then rushed to find a field for us to play at
Mhm.
and get it in working condition for us to be able to say, hey, we got a decent field for these teams to come and play on. We seen in week 3, I believe it was, against the DC Defenders, that our field was not good at all. And that hurt attendance in a way, because when you look at it, people were going to the games and they're like, well, if the field isn't good enough for our players to even play on and actually having a chance to win, what's the point of going to the games?
Right.
And then next thing you know, not only did our attendance drop a little bit from that 65 plus to barely pushing over 6,200, and the team's record was just horrible. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rod Woodson is not a good head coach. He needs to go and get some experience on the collegiate level or even the high school level before he needs to think about getting a head coaching job again, because his performance as a head coach was horrendous, and it showed every week, even in the games that we won. That Orlando game, oh my goodness, I'm sitting at the end of this game and I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on? What are you doing? Why are we passing the ball when we have the ball with less than 2 minutes to go, and all we got to do is run out the clock or put up a field goal? You know what I mean? And it was just like so many things that Rod Woodson did hurt the team as a coach. And I feel that if we would have been going into the second season the way the first season went, where it's just the XFL and not a whole merge between the USFL and the XFL, I think Coach Blevins would have came in and made a huge change. You know, he would have changed the culture of the Vipers team. He would have put us in a winning culture type of mode to where we're going out here every game thinking and feeling like we're the best team in the league. And Rod Woodson just didn't do that for us. So I think that next season or this upcoming season, if the move to Reno does happen, we just need to get the fans out there. We just need to get the fans out there. We have a good coach. We have a good roster. And we just need to support. That's all that comes down to it. But at the end of the day, a lot of those home games that we had last season, the reason why our attendance was the way it was is because of the field. And it wasn't even the setting for the fans. It was literally the field that our players are playing on. And it sucks to say, but that played your part in why the attendance wasn't where it should have been. On top of the market. So
fair enough. So is it safe to say that you're excited about the new head coach of the whatever it's going to be Vipers?
Yes, I am very excited. Coach Blevins has a lot of experience, not just on the NFL side of things and coaching in the NFL, but you got to look at it. He's coached on every level, middle school, high school, college, and the NFL. So the experience of coaching that he's bringing into that locker room is going to change the culture of that locker room. I feel he's going to be a no-nonsense head coach, and I feel he's going to put this team in a winning position. It's just up to the team to go out there and execute. So I'm very excited for Coach Blevins. Right. I'm very excited for Coach Blevins being a part of the team. And I'm excited to see what the Vipers do in the 2024 season, whether it's the Reno Vipers or the Nevada Vipers.
I'm rooting for Nevada Vipers myself.
Me too.
Reno I kind of wish Woodson would have played us in San Antonio. I wanted to see how he'd react to a couple jackasses like me and Jay.
Throwing his headset at you guys.
Headsets over there.
I think you're right, Mariachi. I think he would have threw a couple of headsets at you guys.
Probably.
Bank on it. I would have owned his behind.
And probably dropped a few tears because he's Crybaby Woodson forever. Forever. He will always. I will never look at him as Rod Woodson, the great cornerback of the NFL who went into the Hall of Fame. I'm going to look at him now as Crybaby Woodson, who couldn't even coach a spring football league team.
Fair enough.
But I do gotta give him some credit because some of the things that he did as a coach did have a direct impact to us as Brahmas, to our team. And there was some learning opportunities there that Coach Ward had admitted. He said, obviously Vegas whooped our butts. I was there to witness it in person. It was not pretty. But he had said that the preparation for that game, because obviously they're all, they all get to see each other in Arlington and stuff like that. But he said that the preparation that the Vipers did for that game against the Brahmas was a lot of no nonsense. He took away a lot of privileges, Rod Woodson did, from the Vegas players, like music during practice, and it was just very, very old school in mentality. And Coach Ward admitted, he said that the bright lights of Vegas got to the team a little bit, and he reevaluated the way he ran practice the following week and did some of the things that Rod Woodson did, which was take away some of the music during practice and be a little bit more strict and stuff like that. And it ended up working for the team because from that moment forward, when he was a little bit more hard-nosed and a little bit less of a player's coach, it paid off dividends because we finished off the season really strong as opposed to how we fell off during the middle of the season where you just looked lost out there. So I do got to give credit to Rod Woodson for giving the Brahmas that. A little eye-opener.
Hell, I wish he would have been that way since week one. I mean, sheesh. Where was that at? We needed that week one. Like so many games.
Yeah.
That's another thing that killed me about the Vipers last season. So many games we went into halftime up. In some games we were up by double digits. And then to just fail in the second half. What are we doing? And I looked at it from a fan point of view. I looked at it from me possibly being a player on the field on that team, and I looked at it from a coaching point of view, and it's like, okay, what happened? What went wrong? You know what I mean? Was it the players no longer believing in what Coach Woodson was trying to sell them, or was it just the coaching itself? Because again, we had a good enough roster to go to the playoffs and make some noise.
So
It just didn't happen.
I'm going to jump on that one. If it were the players, I would argue that you guys wouldn't have had those strong first half leads like you did if the players kind of gave up in the vision of the team and stuff like that.
Right.
I truly think that it falls back on something like that. It falls back on the coaching staff because they didn't make halftime adjustments knowing the other team is going to, or they made the
Exactly.
wrong halftime adjustments, right? And that falls back again to the experience and things like that.
Mhm.
Woodson, under the right tutelage, could potentially be, a decent to a good coach. But
Yeah.
without that coaching experience that pretty much everybody else, even Hines Ward himself, had prior coaching experience before going into this. So everybody had a taste of it except for Woodson. And I don't think a player can make that transition easily from player to head coach.
I don't either.
It's not in the cards, right?
And it's just the natural. You do something for the first time, you're not going to be very good at it.
Mhm.
You've got to work out the kinks, and so you do that as an assistant, as a coordinator on another level. You do that as doing that as the head coach. It just kills the team.
Yep.
Mhm.
No, and I do think that a lot of the struggles of the Vipers does fall back on the coaching, because I look at some of the big pickups that they had at the beginning of the season that were supposed to be big, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't know about that." When they picked up Brett Hundley, being a Packers fan, knowing how much of a disappointment Brett Hundley was, and then it turns out he was the highest paid player in the XFL at $200,000.
Mhm.
And only to end up being benched. And then the starting quarterback that you guys had in Luis Perez went unfortunately to the wrong team and won the championship. And
Yep.
but that shows that you had a gem in your right there, and he was just misused. So I do think that falls
Yeah.
back on the coaches not knowing what they had and how to use what they had, and instead looking for that big signing that ultimately didn't pan out.
Yeah. And I felt that was the same way with Martavis Bryant and a few other players. Like Martavis Bryant could have played a heck of a lot better last season. He was
Yeah.
one of those players that a lot of us were looking to root for and say, "Hey, we got a number one receiver." And then you add Jeff Badette and Geronimo Allison to that
Another
running back,
former
or
Packer.
excuse me, that wide receiver room, and you're like, "Hey, we got a decent wide receiver core." And then Bryant goes out there and he's just like he's nothing. He did nothing this season to help us win games. He wasn't one of those players that we can say, "Hey, you're our go-to guy at receiver." We were going to Jeff Badette and Geronimo Allison and Sean Price a heck of a lot more than we were going to Martavis Bryant, because he just wasn't showing up in games. So, you have those players who have the name from the NFL, but they don't bring that same energy from the NFL that they had. They're not bringing that same energy into the XFL, and it's kind of disrespectful in a way, because it's like you're no longer in the NFL. So you should come into this league and play as hard as you would in the NFL. You know what I mean? And I just felt that Martavis didn't do that at all, and that could have
Oh,
helped us
absolutely.
a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. It could have helped the Vegas Vipers.
Oh yeah, especially considering like Geronimo Allison, Jorge, and I, obviously recognize the
He
name
was a
from
target in
Packers
Green
squad.
Bay. He
right?
was a
Yeah,
target.
he was.
Yeah,
He was.
I in that situation, I think it was Rodgers that kind of elevated him a little bit more than what his gameplay actually could do. But this was that opportunity for him to step up and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, he was helpful, but I still have skills. I can still do it on my own." And that was kind of a missed opportunity, I think, there, where he could have just really exploded on the scene, especially considering Martavius was not like getting it done,
Right.
So, but Jackie, did you want to? Because I want her involved. I want her talking.
I am. I'm listening. I'm just enthralled with the conversation
listening.
and just drinking my drink over here.
Okay.
But Jersey, so I want to know: did you see super fans out at the games? Did anybody like dress up like as a snake or? And with that, like
other than the game that Jorge went to,
snake. No, but like if
my
like,
boots were
what
the
can
super
we do?
fans.
What do you feel we can do to help out when it comes to that aspect, like getting more involvement with the community and the fans, even if they do make the move? What are you hoping to see, and like what kind of help could you use to build the fan base out there?
Well, as far as the help, I actually started a petition to help keep the Vegas Vipers or the Vipers team in the state of Nevada. So there is a petition out there. All you guys got to do is just check out my Facebook page or my Twitter page, and you'll be able to find that post and sign that petition. But in my personal opinion, I feel the advertising needs to be done a hell of a lot better. The local marketing, which kind of fits into the advertising, but the local marketing specifically, because I've been saying this even during the season last year. Our XFL teams need to have some type of local marketing deal or a deal with the local news channels to where these local news channels are covering our games. They're covering the team and talking about the team. If you notice, no local news station in any city that had an XFL team really talked about their XFL teams like that. And that hurt.
Very true.
That hurt so much when it came to attendance, when it came to fan support, when it came to merchandise sales, the whole nine. Because if you don't have, your local news channel covering the sports team in your city, then that team becomes irrelevant. And I think that's what happened with a lot of the XFL teams this past season. We became irrelevant. And we weren't able to get the recognition that we deserved. And with the XFL heads not going in and getting a specific type of deal with these local news stations and just handling local marketing the way they should have been handled, it hurt. And that's another reason why there was a huge $1 million loss. We're not going to put a number out there because in all actuality, we don't know exactly what number that they lost. They say 60 million, but I believe it's double that. And the reason why is because if you look at how certain games, like let's take St. Louis for instance, they sold out over 38,000, but they only did it one time this season. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like certain games this season we had an attendance record break, and then certain games it was just like, are we watching the USFL game?
Ouch.
Are we watching the 2023 USFL game where they don't even care about those?
They were steady. St. Louis was steady all year.
They were
long,
St. Louis and DC. They were the most steady team. Well, St. Louis, DC, and San Antonio.
Yeah, I think San Antonio. I think we had the second highest attendance. I know a lot of it was from our first game And then, we kind of tailed off, the rest of the games. But I mean, especially in Vegas where there's so much there. If you don't have that local marketing and stuff, it does become an afterthought,
and it hurts.
Yeah, even so that's something where the team, if the team does end up moving to Reno, that would be beneficial because it's still there's still casinos and all that stuff, but it's not the big lights of Vegas and
Right.
everything that's going on there.
And on top of that, it's only 45-minute, maybe an hour flight, and you can get a freaking round trip ticket for $79. So who's really going to complain about taking a 45-minute to an hour flight to go watch a football game and support a team? So I think we'll have a better chance in Reno, and I think the fact that we weren't able to get a field in city because Dollar Loan Center is too small. It doesn't even fit as many people as Cashman Field does. So that's not an option. We can't go to Allegiant Stadium because of Mark Davis and the mayor. Sam Boyd is getting torn down. Cashman sucks. There's no other place really.
Yeah.
Unless they build a field.
I will say I'm looking at the numbers from the 2023 season. And while Vegas did have the lowest numbers, they had the most consistent numbers. Right?
They did, yeah.
You guys were averaging about 6,010 people, 6,015, right?
Mm-hmm.
But solid numbers.
Consistent. Yeah, it was the most consistent.
And how many people did Cashman hold total?
Cashman was able to hold up to 10,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, you're
that's
sitting
65% capacity.
But better than 50%. So that's not terrible, So
and that's what I said.
The numbers were low, but you look at percentage wise.
Look at the Alamo Dome. Yeah, look at the Alamo Dome, for example. Our home opener, right? 24,245. The Alamo Dome holds 65,000 people. We're not even at like 30%.
Right.
St. Louis. Let's talk about St. Louis. Where's the bird cage? Oh, the dome. 38,000. And I know that thing holds at least 60. Right? So they were just barely over 50%. So at least Vegas was packing it 65, 70% the entire season.
Yep.
May not have been the best field, may not have been the best conditions. There may have been, cameramen on scaffolds trying to get pictures and stuff and a little bit, janky construction. But they at least, I mean, the numbers say, I mean, if you look at percentage wise, people were showing up.
Yeah, we were consistent. And I feel that if we would have went ahead, and he sure did, bro.
he tried taking a drink out of mine right now. I was like, no.
Night time may come early for him then.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I think that if we would have just went ahead with the renovations this offseason, Cashman would be fine, man. Cashman would be fine. And it kills me because the USL team, the United Soccer League team that is out here called the Las Vegas Lights, the owner now owns Cashman Field. So that's why we ran into another Cashman Field. They didn't want the renovations to be specifically football renovations. They wanted to where the renovations was going to not only tackle both football and football, but the Las Vegas Lights would get, the majority of the clout in that stadium. You would see more Las Vegas Lights logos and advertisements and things of that nature than you would the XFL's Vegas Vipers team. So it was just like a losing battle from jump once the season was over and seeing how bad the field was.
Why I saw a lot of the Las Vegas Lights stuff. I mean, I figured it's like, they just share the stadium, but that the fact that it was still left up, like that makes sense now when I went and I saw a lot of Las Vegas Lights stuff still up, where it was clearly visible.
Right.
Yeah.
for fans to see. So that makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that was the ownership structure for that. For
Yeah,
that place.
Cashman was just recently bought by the owner of the Las Vegas Lights USL soccer team.
And looking at it from a fan standpoint, right? We're showing up as XFL fans to watch an XFL game, and you're
Yeah.
getting inundated with all this USL stuff, and it's like, oh,
Yep.
well, we're just kind of like their dirty little secret, right? And
Mhm.
who's going to want to, buy into that, if you're like an afterthought. So that definitely,
Y'all better
yeah, Jackie needs to let others speak. Truth.
quit.
Y'all better leave Jackie alone, damn it.
I know. I'm still wondering
No,
about
but
the dang
honestly-
fans that dress up as snakes.
Yeah,
None.
where are
Nothing
the
in my
snake
head.
fans?
Yeah.
None.
I know.
None.
Okay.
And
What can we do to encourage that?
Do we need to make you a snake costume so you could be the first?
You
A
can be the
slithery
I
first.
don't know,
snake.
right?
I'm a
I've been trying
snake.
to push for, like, if Cashman was gonna get renovated, I was the one pushing for a section in one of the end zones to be called the Viper Pit.
Okay.
And you have all the super fans and all the main season ticket holders in that section representing for the team. But of course, I mean, yeah, everybody dressed up, but who really dressed up as a snake? Who really dressed up as a viper? Who really, showed that fan
I'm
spirit?
looking it up right now.
Who
Amazon.
traveled
So-
1,500 miles and put on a sombrero and a traje and a full-on suit to support their team?
My
did that?
wife had a tan from that game because her shoulders were exposed. It barely went away in August, and that game was in March. Like, that sun was beating down on us. But one of the things that I noticed as a visiting fan is that there you go, right there. I mean, that's kind of scary for the kids, but that'll work. But one of the things that I noticed, and I used to live in Salt Lake City, so I'm very familiar with the concept of, you want to get out of Utah, you go to Vegas for the weekend because it's right there. And I saw a lot of Real Salt Lake jerseys, more jerseys of them than I saw Vegas Viper shirts. And at the same time, when I was there, I was trying to troll the Las Vegas fans by starting a wave, because that's a whole controversy here in San Antonio. But I was trying to troll the fans and start a wave, and it kind of got a little bit of steam, and that's when our guy Fred Brown returned it for a touchdown. Is when I started doing that. So I'm like, it works, like it's cursed. And then after the game, one of the Vegas fans came up to me and he tells me, he's like, man, I appreciate you putting all that life, because that's the most lively I've seen the stadium and all the games that I've been to. And I'm like, I said thank you. I appreciate that. But at the same time, I was like, man, that was supposed to be a joke, like a troll move, and I'm being thanked for it. So I was like, man, like something's got to change.
So I think Brahma Babe brings up a great point, right? Vegas, the night lights, the city life, everything going on. You already mentioned that there's all these different sports organizations there, even if they're not happening at the same time. There's so much professional sports there, and there's even more coming in the next year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could
we're even
that
looking
potentially?
we're even looking at getting an NBA expansion team, a whole new team just in the NBA. So it's
Wow.
a lot of things are going on in Vegas, man. The athletics are coming for baseball, so you got to imagine we're gonna have
This is what you need.
There you
Hey,
go.
I
That's
love
the
it.
king.
Him, the palo.
That's what the
That's
king
what
needs.
you need.
What's up?
That'll
You need to
just
send that
that'll
to me.
just start it off.
My wife will
That'll
definitely
start you
grab
off
that.
right there.
My wife will
king
get that
needs
for
that.
me.
Walk
But
around with
listen.
that.
So
You know I'm a king.
there you
There you
go.
go.
There you go.
There you go. So, but
Just put some little snake
The
head on
crown
top
and
of
the
it.
scepter. There you go.
yep,
I like that, Jackie. I
Could
like
that-
that.
could
I'm
that
sending
Hey,
it
nightlife?
to you.
this is
I
how it
ain't
starts,
saying.
man. This is how it starts.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna help out with this. Let me try.
Yep,
Go ahead, Jay.
I'll find something for your girl
We keep
too.
cutting Jay off. Go ahead, Jay.
that's fine. I was just gonna say, and I think we've already beaten this point to death. But could that nightlife and everything else that is going on in the Viper King, dude? I like
like
that.
it.
I
I
like
love it.
that. So yeah, the nightlife probably took a lot away. I
You're
think
welcome.
if they move to Reno, they'll have a better chance. Ooh,
Yes.
King
Well,
Cobra.
They're also when I was there, one of the things
Mm.
that I noticed that a lot more people were interested in, as opposed to the Vipers, were the Golden Knights. And I didn't realize Las Vegas is such a big hockey town, but the Golden Knights, I saw.
They just wanted to go somewhere to be cool for the evening.
Truth, truth.
Not
Yeah.
even. Not even.
But
The Vegas
the Golden
Vipers
Knights were
has built, or excuse me, the Golden Knights have built such a huge fan base out here, man.
I was
When I
super
say
surprised.
such,
Yeah.
yeah, and
'Cause it's
Mariachi,
60 inside.
you're not even lying. Like the amount of fans that attracted to this team after year one, and you got to imagine our first year, the Golden Knights' first year in the NHL, we went to the Stanley Cup Finals and lost.
I was gonna say I thought they went that first
Yeah.
year. It
So
was like
from
lost
then
in like
on-
game 6 or something. Like it was a close
Yeah.
series, wasn't it?
well, game 5, we won one
Okay.
game. We won one game and then lost 4 straight. We actually won game 1 of the series and
Oh, okay.
lost 4 straight. But we were an expansion team. You know, we had a bunch of rookies, we had a bunch of expansion picks and things of that nature. So as time went on, the Vipers hype went down because you got to imagine during the XFL season, the NHL playoffs were going on, and the Vegas Golden Knights was that team in the West. They were the number 1 team in the West, and we went on to win the Stanley Cup, and that took a lot of viewership away from the Vegas Vipers. I can honestly say that. The
I mean, I
Vegas
saw a
Golden
bunch
Knights. Go ahead.
I saw a bunch of Golden Knights jerseys when I was walking around all the
Mhm.
hotels and the strip and all that stuff. And like I said, not so much at the game, but even at the game, I saw jerseys from other leagues and other teams, Real
Yeah.
Salt Lake being the primary one, that were present more so than people wearing Vegas Viper shirts, unless they were the ones that they hung over the chairs for free.
Yeah, and there was a lot of Real Salt Lake soccer fans that would, come out here and be a part of certain events and things of that nature because Utah's so
Yeah.
close. Yeah, even the Kraken. Yep, you're right. Even the Kraken in Seattle. We got the same type of vibe from our fans. First year in the season in the league, we go to the Stanley Cup. Yeah, we lose, but that just showed that we had a good team. Every single season after that, except one, the Vegas Golden Knights have gone to the playoffs. So you got to imagine bringing that type of championship caliber into this city. Then you bring in the WNBA Las Vegas Aces, who have already won a WNBA
Stole from San
championship.
Antonio.
You know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is. Stuff happens. Y'all stole them from Utah, so I mean,
We did.
the franchises
Fair
got
enough.
moved around, and their most successful place they've been is in Vegas. But I'm just saying, to bring that type of championship atmosphere to this city, that was Jerry Cardinale's whole mind frame when he said, "Hey, let's bring a team to Vegas." Hey, matter of fact, let's bring that Tampa Bay Vipers team all the way to Vegas since we're having such a hard time finding a field that's suitable for the team, and this is that and the third. You know what I mean? So when that happened, the whole mind frame of the XFL, Jerry Cardinale, and Redbird Capital was not only is this a city of entertainment, and this is a 24-hour city, but hey, we bring in a guy like Rod Woodson, who's a Oakland Raider,
Hmm.
we'll bring in some traction. We'll get some traction, and it just didn't work out that way, So it is what it is. But there could have been a lot of things they did differently. And one of those things was find a better field off the rip.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe this next season we'll have a better opportunity in Reno or somewhere in Nevada, right? Keep the Vipers
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Nevada somewhere. Keep
Can
them
we
Yeah,
talk
local.
about
don't move
maybe
them.
maybe Henderson even?
Well,
Who?
here's the problem. The problem with Henderson is all we have is Dollar Loan Center or
Oh yeah, you mentioned
Green
that.
Valley High School. Now,
Yeah,
if
We
not
we
a
can't do
high
go
school
that.
if we
favorite.
go look at Green Valley High School, we're looking at the same issue we're running into with Bishop Gorman High School, which is our number one high school in the city. Bishop Gorman High
Right.
School gets all the college recruits. They get all the kids who end up going on to college and end up going on to the NFL. Like that's what Bishop Gorman is. It is a startup high school for NFL caliber football players. Honest to God truth. Like Bishop
Yeah.
Gorman High School is
Yeah,
literally
I've heard of
Mhm.
them.
out here
Yeah.
and set up for the players who go to this academy. And I call it an academy because it's like somewhat of a private school. But the kids who go to Bishop Gorman playing football, they make it 8 times out of 10. You know,
Wow.
so yeah. Now Bishop Gorman is a huge high school out here too, man. Exactly, Daryl. Bishop Gorman is ranked nationally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, practically every year. Practically every single year, Bishop Gorman is ranked nationally. Now, that would be a good field for us to play at as the Vegas Vipers, but it's still a high school field. They would literally
Right.
have to renovate Bishop Gorman because Bishop Gorman's already been renovated. But they would have to
Mhm.
renovate Bishop Gorman and set it up to where it's like a college football stadium.
Well,
And
how,
that's
I mean,
just a
how
lot.
is it there? Because I mean, down here in Texas, we've got some of our high school stadiums are nicer than some college stadiums. So
You're in Texas. Y'all eat, breathe, shower, shit, shave. I mean, everything is
wrong.
football. Y'all wake
Yeah.
up eating football Oreos.
We do. We do.
That's not even a cereal, but you're eating football Oreos, okay? So you wake up to football, you go through the whole day to football, you go to sleep to football in the state of
so
Texas.
not every
I'm a
state's
Dallas
like that.
Cowboys
Is that
fan.
what I hear you saying?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
Texas is the biggest, and I can say this because I lived in San Antonio myself. I went to John Jay
Let's
High School.
Go, baby. Let's go.
John Jay.
Mustangs
Roosevelt
all
Rough
day,
Riders, baby.
baby.
What's up?
Madison Mavericks,
Mustangs
baby.
all day, you know what
Oh
I mean?
my
But
gosh.
I went to John Jay High School back in 2003. I was actually in your top 10 of the fastest kids in the nation. So
Nice.
had a little
Nice.
wheel, had some wheels on me. But no, honestly, it's hard, and for you guys in San Antonio, it's a little bit easier because
Mhm.
Texas is a football state.
Yeah.
So hell, you say Corpus Christi, Corpus Christi has a damn football team. People are gonna watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
my old high school.
Brownsville has
Miller.
a football team. It's
That's
people are gonna
his
watch.
area.
My cousin went to Judson in San Antonio. So
Whoop,
you
whoop.
know-
Judson Rockets.
yes, sir,
Oh
the
my
Rockets,
God.
and
Yep.
my Mustangs beat on them
Good.
when I was
Good.
there.
Because everybody
I'm just
hates the
saying.
Rockets.
I'm just saying, I when I was there, the Mustangs beat up on the Rockets, and when it came to the track season, I had to show them my wheels.
At this point, though, Orlando could easily beat up on the Rockets. So the Rockets are nothing this year. Sorry, not sorry. I said it.
Jay, I agree with you 100%, bro.
Okay. Jersey, absolute pleasure having you on the show. I'd love to keep this going for another 17 hours if we could, but we got some bills we got to pay. So we're gonna drop you back in the green room.
Yeah, because we got
and
the after hour show.
yeah, we're gonna do our announcements, pay some bills, stuff like that, and then we're gonna switch over to our
after
Only
show.
Horns show. Yes, it's called Only Horns, Horny After Dark. We want you there. Okay, so just hang loose for a couple of minutes. Let
I'm
us
here.
pay our bills. We'll be right back with you, man.
No
Real
problem.
quick.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Do your social media plugs. Let everybody know where they can find you, how they can follow you, and how they can support the Vipers.
All right. So all you have to do is go to facebook.com, check out Jersey the King. That's JerzeyThaking, as you see my name on the show. Also, hey, Brahma Babe, I love you. Thank you so much. Also, you can check me out on the Gridiron at Facebook. THAGRIDIRON. You can check out the Gridiron and check out the Fangang Nation on Twitter. Check out the Gridiron on Twitter and check out Royalty Gamers _P for Royalty Gamers and Podcast to check me out for my personal Twitter page. But again, thank you guys for tuning into the show. Thank you guys for having me. And, come check out the Fangang Nation show next week. I'll be having Jeff Badette, the wide receiver of the Vegas Vipers, joining the show.
Fun.
So,
Nice.
Fancy.
so definitely you guys tune into
And for
that
all
and
the
be ready
trolls
for
out
that.
there, we know it's X now, but we're still calling it Twitter.
It's the Twitter.
It's always going to be Twitter. You can't
I don't
steal
agree with
X
Twitter.
from the XFL and think that us XFL fans are not going to pay attention to that and holler at Elon Musk like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?"
Well,
So
I still like how all the emails and everything they send out, it says, news on X, formerly Twitter.
Yep.
Like, even they still have
Formerly.
to keep it in their name.
formerly, but when you go to twitter.com, it's still Twitter.
Stealing
You
my
can't go
jokes,
to-
man.
You can't go to x.com and get Twitter. I'm just saying.
Whoa.
Jersey, make sure you check out my MySpace page, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Add me
Oh,
on
God.
MySpace.
Hey, I got a GeoCities going, all right?
Top eight.
I got you. I got you.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Thank
Okay,
you
I'm
guys
putting you in
for
the green
having
room
me.
before y'all continue.
Thank
Rock
you guys
on,
for having
baby.
me.
See you in a few.
Thank
Fang Nation,
Thank you,
baby.
Jersey.
Okay.
Jackie,
You're gonna put it to me anyway. There
yep,
you go.
what's on the radar?
Just wait for my
Talk
name.
to us. Talk to me, Goose.
What's on the radar? So next week, y'all, I found some Seattle Sea Dragons. Look at this. Stop it. Y'all, next
Nice.
Friday,
Wow.
we're gonna have it's a mother-son duo, and they go by Trouble and Mischief. So I'm super excited that we found some Seattle Sea Dragons. So y'all stay tuned for next week because that's gonna be fun to finally talk to somebody from Seattle because I've been searching for a hot minute. Look at
Hey,
that
put
patita.
put some respect on Mr. Mayor.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mayor too. He of course it's hard to get a hold of him. He's a very busy man. He's the mayor.
He's the mayor.
But
Yeah.
you put some
Mayor.
respect
He's
on
the
him.
mayor. So yeah. But I mean fans that are like, besides our Mr. Mayor, we love him. But I mean like
He's the
fans
mayor
that
of the
dress up and
XFL.
stuff like that.
Like he goes to every
Yeah,
single
he's
game.
the entire XFL.
Yeah. So even though
He
he's
just
a,
happened.
yeah,
to rep
even though
them.
he's a Seattle fan, he still goes to every single game. So these are dyed.
yeah.
I mean, True Blue, dyed in the wool. Seattle, not going anywhere else. Fans. So, but what else?
Yeah.
Let's talk about a certain event in Elotes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Elotes.
Not,
Oh, elotes. I thought you were saying corn. I was like, what?
Dude, I
That's
was
what
I was
it's
thinking- I was
called.
getting hungry
I mean,
before I
technically
got
that's what
man.
it is called.
that's what it's
yeah.
called.
He's not wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong.
But the way you said it was real Hispanic. So I heard not helotes. I heard elotes.
That's what
like
it's called.
corn.
That's what it is.
What? No, I'm not gonna listen.
We
to y'all.
whitified
Go
it and made it
ahead.
Helotes.
Go ahead. What-
Yes.
What's going on
Okay.
in
So,
elotes?
In elotes or
Elotes.
helotes, for those of you who prefer
Sure.
English. Late October, I believe it is October 26th.
Yes, sir.
Which is a Thursday from
Thursday
6 to
night.
9 p.m. at Josabi's Acres. We are going to be doing a trunk or treat. This thing has kind of blown up, so there's going to be a lot of people there, and it's going to be benefiting Kinetic Kids, which is an organization it's a sports organization that puts on leagues and sports and stuff for kids with disabilities. My son is a part of that. He's learning how to swim. thanks to Kinetic Kids. So
Excellent.
it's a I'm personally invested in that. But yeah, I shouldn't have given him jarritos because now he's like asking.
He's all
for
sugared
some.
up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I mean, look at how this kid is sitting right now. Like, look at this.
Just living the life.
Dude,
Living the
envious.
life.
I wish I could bend my legs like that.
That hurts
my
just
God.
looking at it.
Yep.
Oh no, he's chilling. I mean, he's
Dude, that's arthritis pain when you get to our age, bro.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But talking about the trunk or treat, we have something very special for our smallest trick or treaters out there. We're gonna have the friendliest, non-scariest haunted spot. Planning
Yep.
on getting some of the good candy too, y'all. So
Yeah.
Definitely. None of those
photo
know,
ops.
like 200 for a dime, like Chicles that dry out in like 2 seconds. This is the
Yeah,
good
you
stuff.
won't find none of those
No
strawberry
candy corn.
candies.
Hey,
We go
don't talk
shopping
about
for-
candy corn. I'll
Don't
punch you in the
hate.
mouth.
We're gonna go to Costco for our candy. Let's just put it
Oh
that way.
dang!
Let's do it.
Look, I don't like eating wax for candy. All right.
Man, shut your face.
But yeah, that's going to be the next big event that we have for sure on the calendar. There may
Yep.
be a fan meetup at some point between now and then because
That's
there's
still
a
in the
long,
works.
There
it's
is.
still in the works.
Yeah, we haven't solidified
Yeah,
all the details.
It's in the works. So stay tuned for that. More details to come on that on the
Yep.
Facebook page. But that is just gonna be a meetup for people just to we miss seeing you guys in person. So let's do something fun and merger, no merger, whatever. We're just there to have a good time. And like the XFL said, until this goes through, it's business as usual with the XFL.
Yep.
And for those of you, just side note on that with the merger talk, I'm going to put on my Wall Street hat here for a second. The intent to merger does not mean that they have merged. All right. So it still has to go through the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. They have to approve it to make sure that there's no monopolies. There's no red flags that would make me think that that's not going to go through. However, the government is about to shut down. It's pretty much imminent at this point. That will delay the approval of the merger. So even though they said that they have intended to merge, nothing is going to change until the FTC says, yeah, go ahead and do it. And with this government shutdown, the FTC will not be working because they are not deemed essential. The people who approve or deny mergers and stuff like that, they're going to be furloughed.
The merger's pretty damn essential. So
expect it to go a lot longer than it's.
Y'all don't see in
intended
you don't
to
see in
be.
the background, but the green room jersey like.
Yep.
hands back there.
So just a heads up on that. With all this merger talk, if you're gonna keep talking about it, have fun, but be ready to be patient.
Yeah. No more merger talk. Right. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Back to the to the trunk or treat thing, Brian. This is the way.
this is the way.
Just throwing that out there. And then one more shameless plug.
Oh, is there gonna be a reveal?
We already talked about that last week, but yet maybe we'll see.
We talk about it
We
every
all
week.
talk. We talk about it every week.
It's a
Speaking of
9
talking
inches
about
long
other
reveal.
things, the weekend of January 12th and 13th, there's going to be another event that's going to be coming up that your Horns Forward podcast is going to be a major part of. And that's going to be an event to benefit the Houston Area Women's Center. So we are going to be revealing more details about that as they become available. We do have a location. We do have a time. But there are some potential other events that are going to be coming along with it, like a potential grudge bowling match between maybe yours truly and Rig Rocker from the Houston Renegades. I'm sorry, the Houston Roughnecks fan.
Ouch, that's a slap in the face.
Oh,
I know.
There's fighting words.
Right
The
when
problem
you like
is
come in
the-
Rig Rocker and he's like, comes
The
in right
problem
when
is
you're
I'm getting everything twisted because it looks like Ballhawk 1 is also calling out Big Daddy Ed for a grudge match in bowling. But regardless, there's going to be some really cool things that are going to be coming up in the next 6 months or so So make sure that you're watching the Facebook page for all the updates and all the events and everything like that. One event at a time, obviously. Let's focus on the trunk or treat first, because that's going to be an incredible event and it's here locally. But with that being the case, I think I'm pretty much done flapping my gums right now. So let's go ahead and wrap it up.
No, you need to apologize for that insult to Houston.
Houston, I 100% from the bottom of my heart apologize that I made the Social Club and called you the Renegades and not the Roughnecks like you deserved, because we all know South Oklahoma sucks. And with that being the case,
Jay,
wrap it up.
Do better.
Do better.
Do better, Jay.
But
Do better.
we'll see you guys next week.
Do
Horns
better.
forward, everybody.
Horse forward, guys.